Welcome to SoulTopia Shenanigans live on YouTube with Michelle Welch. Hi, you guys. How are you doing? We are filming here at SoulTopia here in Dallas, Texas. And actually, today's been a rather nice day for how hot it's been this summer. Actually, for Texas, I'm not sure it's been. I don't check the weather every single day like some people do, but it doesn't seem as hot. I mean, has it really been those scorching hot Texas summers? I'm not sure yet, but we got out a little bit today and it was kind of nice, actually. I love the heat, so bring it as far as I'm concerned. But I hope all of you guys are getting some sun and getting some vitality in your life and vitamin D. It's something that's actually really important to me, so I just wanted to mention it here at the top of the show. Tonight, we are going to really talk crystals and take some readings and also answer questions if you guys have any. Bring it, whatever the subject. Keep it clean, please. And other than that, and keep it doesn't have to be crystal related tonight, but I'd like to do some readings for those of you that might want one. We're also going to do after this a trial, and coming up in the next few weeks, you guys will be knowing all about it. We are going to have online classes starting here at SoulTopia. And we have been working very, very diligently on this it's been 2 years that I've wanted to do this at least, if not longer. And it's just a little bit harder than people may think. So we've had a lot of people working on it. And we are having a trial class, a very, very short one, a private trial class, because we want to get it down tonight at 7. So, and then we'll have Roger's meditation tonight. So you guys up at SoulTopia with his singing bowls. It's very relaxing, and that cuts off right at 8:30 so that everybody can get home. Can you believe that the summer's almost over? I really can't believe it. It's gone by so fast. So it's time, really, I think, for some of us just to have some quiet, relaxing time. So we're going to start talking about some crystals, and if somebody wants to comment or get a reading, then pop on and comment. And I know this will be something that it'll take a little getting used to, because we've been trying to go live for a while and we had some hits and misses, but we've gotten it right. Yes. So thank you to Cassie Clayton for all of her hard work in that regard. So I'm going to talk first about, just start talking. If y'all have a comment, go ahead. We were in Denver not too long ago, and we don't get all our crystals at the show at INATS where we go. We don't always get crystals, but we do know some of the vendors there that are very reputable for crystals. And I'll tell you, one of my crystals, my favorites, is lepidolite. You guys know that. For one thing, I tend to get some anxiety. I'm not perfect by any means. I don't claim to be. I don't know that in this lifetime I'll ever claim to be. I do get some anxiety, and I don't try to hide it. That helps me get over it, actually. So lepidolite is one thing that actually helps with anxiety. And look at these cool, they're like palm stones or wands, and they are wands, but they're shaped just perfectly. I've been using them in my crystal healings a lot for people to hold. They fit perfectly into the palms of your hands. These are both lepidolite and are just extremely good quality. This one almost looks like it has a little lepidolite, a ruby in lepidolite, which is actually beautiful. I tried to get them kind of the same shape to fit in the palms of the hands to hold. This is something that I've talked to you guys a lot about. That's very, very, very soothing, is just to hold crystals in your hands and connect with them. In your receiving hand, you can hold what you want to bring in. I want to bring in a lot of soothing calmness. And in your releasing hand, you can hold a stone of release, what you want to let go of. If you want to let go of, let's say, negativity, you could hold a black stone. In your receiving hand, excuse me, did I say that right? In your receiving hand, I have it opposite. And it may be opposite for you guys, maybe opposite for me today. That's a big thing I'm preaching about lately. Preaching's not the right word, but it's kind of something I'm stuck on lately, is everybody always says it has to be this way. You may be switched. Your receiving hand's where you want to take something in. I want to take in calmness. And if you want to give something away, I call it your releasing hand. It could be your healing hand, but if something you don't want anymore and you want to give it back to earth, send it to the light, negativity might be one of those things, and you could hold it in your other hand. Okay? It's kind of confusing when you're looking at yourself doing it, but really just go with what feels right. You don't always have to hold the exact same crystals in your hands. So, Cassie, do we have anybody? You're going to let me know if we do have anybody that wants a reading?
I'll let you know.
Okay. Okay, so that's one of the things. We also got these little shungite babies, and y'all know how I feel about shungite. Also, shungite is actually a carbon. It's from Russia, and Peter the Great used shungite a lot for all types of things. And they would have shungite baths, shungite rooms, all kinds of shungite, because it was believed to promote so much healing. There have been studies done since then, and there's this thing called fullerenes, which are soccer balls. They're not soccer balls, they're shaped like soccer balls, and shungite has fullerenes. So without going into a big long discussion about it, because I have a class on it, and we'll do an online video on that, but shungite is one of the things that was used, for instance, after Chernobyl. I have it inside my phone, on the back of my cell phone, to ward off EMFs or anything like that in the environment, the electromagnetic environment that does not serve me. But honestly, for me, what this does is, if I'm down, it'll lift me up a little bit. If I'm too, ADD, all over the place, yeah, that's me. If I'm like that, then this can usually calm me down a little bit. Okay, and just get me to be actually more centered, I guess would be the best word for shungite. It was interesting. I was going through the cards that I was going to use tonight for you guys. I'm going to show them to you. They're called the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards, and they're by Rochelle. I believe it's Rochelle because it's R-A. I have a friend with that name, and it's R-O, but I believe it may be Rachel. But anyway, it's R-A-C-H-E-L-L-E, Charmin. And this is the deck. It comes with a beautiful book and some very, very pretty cards. And the reason how I pick crystal cards is based on the picture of, honestly, the picture of the stone on it. Because sometimes they don't even look like the stone that you're talking about, or the crystal that you're talking about, and you're looking at it going, that didn't even look like a labradorite. But yet these cards really are very good, and then they have one word at the bottom, and then the book goes into a lot more detail. It will describe a little bit about the stone, and then what the oracle card might mean if you were drawing that oracle card. So I think that this deck is actually a very, very good deck. I'm really picky about the crystal decks. Some of them are good, and some of them are just not worth getting. And that's probably true of any deck, and I'm sure everybody has differing opinions on that. But I look at several things. I look at the book. I look at the cards. I look at, is it a decent quality card? These are okay on the back. I usually look at the back to see how pretty it is. They're okay. But really, just to show you one, I'll pull one at random for myself to see what I might need tonight. And I am pulling, interesting, black obsidian. Now, it's interesting because a lot of people think I recommend don't use black obsidian. I've actually had some people come back to me and say, isn't black obsidian the one you don't like? I do like black obsidian. Black obsidian is actually a volcanic glass. But the thing you have to realize with black obsidian is, like all crystals, it will do its work, and it will do what it's meant to do. And the best thing for black obsidian is it will help you with shadow work. That work which maybe sometimes you're not quite ready to deal with. And so what I say is to use it sparingly. And in fact, it has on the card, it says the shadow on black obsidian. Black obsidian was used for scrying. It's put on mirrors often. It's been made into points for eons ago to use for surgery, literally. There are arrowheads. We have them here that are black arrowheads, and they are great for symbolizing cord cutting to use for crystal healings. So you could put those black arrows all around if you were doing a crystal healing on yourself on a layout, or even if you want to do a grid, you could bring something in. When you point in with a crystal, that's bringing something into you. When you point it away, the point, that's taking it out. And black obsidian is great to cut cords. So that is something and it's interesting, if I drew this for myself, what I would say right now is I love to avoid shadow work. I avoid it, which is not always the best thing to do. We need to dig into our shadow work. We need to look into what the sides of us that we might not want to take a look at sometimes, and not turn a blind eye. For me, my escape is often just, okay, I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to sleep. I don't want to deal with that. And sometimes in order to get past something and to get to the other side of something, we really need to walk through it instead of trying to walk around it, walk over it, walk under it, sidestep it, or sleep through it, or drug through it, as some people might do, or whatever their escape is, or other relationship through it. Sometimes we really just have to walk through it. So that is something with black obsidian. So yes, I do say be cautious with black obsidian. Wear it sparingly. If you wear it 24/7 now, it may not be that way with you. It may not bring up every single issue, including past life issues, but it can with many, and you need to be prepared if it will. A lot of paranormal workers will use black obsidian for protection. That is one that they often is a go-to, is my understanding, for them for protection. And I think they should actually know the other things that it can do, and it really is associated with that shadow work. So I'm actually, if we don't have anybody tuning in to or asking for a reading right now, I'm going to do one for Cassie because she always asks for one. How about it, Cassie? Okay. So, and while we do it, I'll actually just, for those of you watching back, it won't just be a reading. I'm going to be educating on the stone also, as I know it, okay? And what comes to me regarding the education of the stone, just like I did with black obsidian. So when you're taking, same as all oracle cards, when you're drawing a card for yourself or someone else, you want it to be for their highest and best good, including work with crystal cards. Even if you were to draw a crystal, it's the same thing. This is just simulating for us, in my opinion, just actually drawing of the crystal, which we could also do. I often do that for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to draw for you, Cassie. I'm feeling this one right here, but I'm also feeling this one. So two of them. And it's funny because I practiced one of these words because many of you know I am really big on learning. I'm really big on school. I love it. There's education of all kinds, but I am a book learner. That doesn't knock anybody who's not. That's just the way I learn, and I like it. But I looked up one of these because I knew this one's going to, and I even was practicing how to pronounce it because I thought this one's going to come up tonight, and it surely did. It's cacaxonite, and the other one is ruby. And cacaxonite, I don't know a whole lot about. I do know this. It's very high ascension. It's one I'll be going home and studying it. It's just that I'm not so familiar with them, but it's very high ascension, Cassie. It has to do with the heart chakra, and I would say the solar plexus, and a little bit I'm getting the sacral chakra combined. All those kind of mid-area chakras. This is interesting for you because it is all about new beginnings. So Cassie has some exciting new beginnings that may be taking place soon, to be announced shortly. And so those are going to be great in her life. And she's even, I hope I can say this, but she's even texted me a couple times, Emma, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? And she is going to have some beautiful new beginnings that are just well-deserved in her life, in my opinion. It also, Ruby, what they have for Ruby, Ruby can be so many things. It is about love. It is traditionally a love stone. It's also connected to traditional lore, would have it connected to not as much as garnet, but a little bit to blood. And this card says shine for the ruby. I'm going to put these together. And for me, I'm getting, for you, just fall in love with what you're doing. That whatever you're doing, Cassie, it will be for the best for you. And let me just say this. It's in general for all of us. So many people think, I don't know my life purpose. Okay, I believe it's our divine right to know our life purpose. So if you don't, let's talk about it. Because I genuinely believe that you agreed to that life purpose. And so if you agreed to it, shouldn't you know it? Why wouldn't you? Okay, have you ever thought about that? Okay, so we say that we incarnated and we agreed to what most of us say, we agreed to it, correct? I say we can change it, personally. A lot of people don't agree with that, but I do. We have free will, we can change it. But I also believe if I agreed to it, why the heck, what point would there be, and why the heck would it be that we cannot access our life purpose? And why do we have to go through such rigmarole and, let's do a past life regression? Nothing's wrong with those. Don't get mad at me, past life regression people, but I'm talking about this life. Why do we have to do all that to figure out what our life purpose is? Have you ever thought about it? Because those two don't go together. If one says, I incarnated and I agreed to it and there's a reason I'm supposed to be here, and the other one says, oh, it's really hard to figure out your life purpose and nobody knows what it is, does that make logical sense to you guys? It does not to me. Why does it have to be so difficult? And then some might say, well, that's your journey. You're supposed to figure out your life purpose. Oh, mole hockey. Is that a word? Mole hockey? Bull hockey. It's not. I don't buy that at all. I think we've accepted that lie. It's not our life purpose to figure out our life purpose. That's just silly. Okay? I just think it's silly. So we can figure that out. And for you, Cassie, I think it's because you really are one who steps into opportunities. When opportunities present themselves and whatever is going on in your life right now, why wouldn't that be a part of your life purpose? It's pretty simple. Okay, why wouldn't it be? And if you don't like what's going on in your life right now, that's been in my life, okay? For those of you who are like, but I hate what's going on. I can't stand what's going on in my life right now. Is that just a lesson? I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure, but what you could is everything a lesson? Maybe. But do you have to just struggle through that lesson? Oh, this is a lesson. Poor, pitiful me. I'm learning another one. Oh, gosh, here we go again. This life just is full of lessons, and woe is me. No. Step up, do something, take some action, and change it, and ask, if not yourself, someone, and I'm glad to talk to you about it. I'm not saying that I am the know-all about life purpose, but try and say, what is my life purpose? Because why in heck wouldn't I know what it is if I came here for a purpose? It's just, I'm going to call it, that's just stupid thinking as far as I'm concerned, okay? And I don't buy it. So challenge me if you want, because I don't buy that at all. And I'm going to stop buying it because a lot of people have told me that over the past 6-7 years. Oh, it's just a journey. Meh. Mm-mm. So what was the word I said? Mole hockey? Whatever. It's baloney is what it is. Okay, so we can figure out our life purpose. Okay? All right. So you're on your path and you are into your life purpose. Very much so. Yes, you are. And it's going to be exciting for you. And I'd say to everybody, take your opportunities as they come to you. And if you're sitting around still saying after 4 or 5 years, oh, I'm just not ready. Oh, I'm not going to live in my passion. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Fine, that's your choice. But own it, because that's the choice you've made. And so that's what you're doing. You're not stepping into perhaps the greater version of yourself. And, I've been there. Just whining and moaning and minging and moaning about everything I do. Okay? So, Cassie, are you saying we have 5 minutes left? Okay. Wow, that goes by fast. And usually we have so many of you wanting readings. And the one night I was going to do readings, not a one asked. So that's fine. I would encourage you all, you know what I'm going to do for all of us? I'm going to draw one more card and just to see kind of what's our theme for this week. And I'm just going to set the intention for anybody who's a subscriber on my Facebook. Let's see, Facebook, yes, because we will post it there, but also on YouTube, a subscriber to my channel, which is Michelle SoulTopia. So easy to subscribe. Here's what I'm going to ask of that. For my subscribers this week and for all of us listening, what is the general theme, crystal-wise, for us this week? It's another one that I had to learn the pronunciation of, okay? And it's beautiful. It's another rare stone, so don't come into SoulTopia asking for this one. Maybe another store, because I'm not sure. Maybe go to the Perot Museum, a field trip. We're going to take one. It's orpiment. Now, I did look up the pronunciation of this, and it's pronounced, everybody pronounces it different ways. So, orpiment. See this? It's beautiful. And it just radiates success. So for all of us this week, I would say, let's step into the better version of ourselves, the best version of ourselves. Let's believe that we can have success, whatever that means to us. I'll tell you, that's not always financial success. That is very fleeting. So, but if that's your definition, fine. Okay, so we're all going to step into rarity and uniqueness, being ourselves, finding what is unique in us and not feeling like we have to go along with what everybody else says. And that would be probably for me a big version of success. Stepping into my higher self, into my life purpose, and owning it and making no apologies for it. I really want to thank all of you guys for always tuning in. We are shortening tonight. Because we have a big night tonight. So it's really always supposed to be 30 minutes. I always just go all the way over. And so I think that we're going to sign off since nobody is on asking for a reading. And next time, just make sure if I say I'm going to do the readings, tune in, because when I have guests, we're not always going to do readings, you guys, okay? Because the time goes by so quickly, and I want to honor the guest's time. And next week, I'm planning on us having a guest, so tune in then. And until next time, crystal cheers.